Everybody, Mature Simmer here. So we're back here. All right. So there's not a lot happening here right now. Yeah, that's heavy because it's shunting a lot of material. Trying to figure out, we just don't have a lot of good options out of here. I think this may be my best choice, is even though I'd prefer not to go back to Harbor Town with just a DE2, like this will give me 50,000 if I can do it. We basically need to haul this out of B20. So, we know where B2 is because we just had that last time. And I should be fine because it's only 162 tons. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. We should have a locomotive right here. Yep. All right. So do we have enough fuel? We may not, so I may need to go do this now. But yeah, I'm trying to upgrade my locomotives so that I can do some more things. But yeah, so I think we're gonna need to pay the fees. That'll get us... Oops. That'll get us... everything fueled up. And what I probably now want to do is... okay. If I go to the licenses, because what I'm looking at doing is getting... But there's no reason to do the license now. What I'm looking at doing is if I get the DH4, which I think is good, or I could use 2 DE2s, I suppose, for things. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not rushing is a good thing, so let's get that changed. But yes, now we have full fuel. We need to do that. We need to obviously start this thing. Alright, everything's on. Okay. And to get to... Now, let me look at my map. Because at this point, where I'm at, I come out and then we're heading north. So I actually want to... I want to leave south. I don't want to leave the yard north. So to do that, I basically want to get myself turned around. So let's see, the best way to do that will be, because I'm here and I'm facing out this way. So, if I go out this way, out here, because I assume this will then bring me in, and then I can go that way. I think... So yeah, I go out here, back up around here, go out here, and then back up here, come through there. I think that'll work, so let's see if we can make that happen. So, 'Cause yeah, there's some tricky, like I'm still trying to learn a little bit, like what makes sense. A lot of things don't make sense is the problem. Anyway, and I don't want to be doing that here. Right, and then we're gonna get up here. And that will, yeah, because we're gonna have a couple switches here. So here we are. And then we'll also know what the weather's like. But even with that, I should be able to do 250 on 2% grades. And there are some bigger grades, yes, but it shouldn't be too bad. Alright, so now we're slowing down. But yeah, so I want to go left, right, or right. Okay. And we'll go back, lower this, speed this up. So yeah, I'm definitely enjoying the sim. It's definitely got some interesting challenges to it. But yeah, it's definitely different. And so yes, I think now this will kind of just go around and then go down. Because this will now take me over and I guess kind of go through the D yard and bring me down to the military position. And again, we're just, I think, barely gonna fit. So I do have to be careful here because otherwise I think I'm gonna hit some things. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, we can go all the way to that gate. But yeah, so these are just crossing through that way. And then we got to go past this switch here. And so that's down because my understanding is that I need military contracts for that to be open. But I can fit in here for a turnaround. So that was actually a little bit low. All right. So now, if I go there and then look at this, so yeah, so I just need to change this to that. Okay, lower this, go out here, and that'll take me into the D yard. And then I just need to find my way back. Yes, I'm sure that's the switch there. And then we'll just make sure we can get back. But this should now be bringing me into the D yard here. And I assume it may already be set the way I need it to be. But we need to get past this. Yeah, no, it flipped. So, alright. So now if I go here, yes, I want to go that way. And then now we come out of the yard. So again, now I'm going Yeah, backwards. This I think is getting me what I want. Oops. I don't need to go 2 times. And then this will bring me out, and then we need to go all the way over there where we can pass those switches, where we can then go through. So again, like, there may be a little bit of a thunkage if these flip. Yep. Alright, and again, we're going here, here. Like, I think we've got to go all the way out to those, and again, this will flip again. Yep. And this will change. Okay, and I got to go back down that way. So I've got to come out here. And so now, just to set everything, we're here. We want to go left, left, and then in the B yard, we're going to be, what one was it? B20. So we're basically going to pass through, and then we're going to back into it, hopefully. But again, there may be some things, so we need to go right, left, and then that'll get us through. Okay. So now we do that. Whoops, 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 whoops. Didn't switch. So we are now doing that. So that'll get us there. And again, it's a decent length train. So, I mean, if we look at this, it's, what, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars. So, but it's just going to be semi-trailers, so they should be easy to identify. Left and left. Again, we don't need to go super fast here. But we're staying left. And then we're gonna kind of stay left again. And then again, right and left to go through the middle, because that will be open. You can see pretty much most everything else. So it looks like if I do have to move something, it's going to be over the other end. But again, if I pull up my compass, 8, is it here? Yeah. So yeah, we're headed, like, north is behind us, so we're headed south, and there we go, B20. So this is our train. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. All of this is going. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, there's not much room on that outbound siding. So we are good there. Yeah, it's getting kind of yucky. So yeah, I'm thinking we gotta go outside this signal. Okay. Alright, and if I go back here, now again we're on this side, so I need to go left and right. And that will take us, and we saw them flip. So those are definitely the right ones. We're again going backwards. Undo this. You know, and again, this is the back. That's the way we're going to be pulling. That's what we want. So that's exactly what we want to see. Okay, and we're, I'm sure, going way faster than we can connect to it, but that's all right. And again, we need to go turn this job in before we get out of here, so can't be too excited. Now again, it's sunnier than I expected, so this is actually not bad, and we have some familiarity. We're really kind of going to go back the same way we did the last job, because we went that way because it was less... I don't think we're quite there yet. There we go. All right. So we're gonna go here. But yeah, what I was thinking is, yeah, I want to do the long too eventually, so I'm like, oh, I could just pay for it here. But then we're gonna have extra copay on the delivery for no reason, because we're not using that. Alright. So now we just need to get over here. And again, this was B. Oh no, that's C, so yeah, the office is right over here. I'm getting a little familiar with these things. So we're going to turn this in. We got our book. Again, grab this out of B20. Take it to Harbortown. And deliver it on G51. So let's go. We are on the clock. Need to undo this. So we don't have... I should probably check these. Just make sure. Is this possible? I'm guessing it's the other... the one at the far end might have it. And I think with realistic, because yeah, it won't tell you that you have a handbrake. Nope, that one's off too. Alright. Well, we didn't know. I mean, it would make sense that the one up near the cars is that, but I'd rather check it than have this problem. So, alright, so now we're going here. And now before we head out, well, we can start, I guess. Because I don't think we're going to go very fast. But yeah, now we want... So we're going out of the B yard. And then if we are going to our... if we go to our map, now we're coming out of here. So we want to stay to the left. Or no, the right. Sorry, because we're coming this way. Well, we're coming out of here. We actually need to go to the coal plant. So let me do that. Oops. So let's go to the coal plant. And as we go through the power plant, again, we're coming from the north. So we're going to go here. Here we're going to want to go left to get out of there. So that's fine. And again, these may be set the way we came. So then if I go out of here, again, we want to stay to the right, go through there. We're going to go through City West. Yeah, we shouldn't be climbing much here. But let's just make sure that everything hopefully looks correct. Alright, so we just changed that as we headed out. But anyway, we need to go here now to City West. And again, we're coming from the north, so we're going to come from here. And again, this will be to the left, through and out. So yeah, I would think we're kind of set the way we want to be, honestly. And then once we're here, we want to stay to the left, go through here. We want to go to the right, go through here. Here we'll want to go to the left. That'll take us through here. Here we'll want to go to the right. Take us through there. We'll want to go to, yes, the left, the right, the left. So yeah, I think everything's set. Which I think makes sense because we're going right back where we were. Alright, so now we've got a 1.5% grade. And so we can go a little quicker here. Again, we're only going to be at 9. But let's see, I just want to check some stuff. Okay. And so yeah, if we had another thing here, we could control it with another locomotive. So now we're going down. We're actually going down 6, so or down 1 here. So we do want to be careful. So we're going to slow this down. And it should be okay, but yeah, this is the challenge, is we do have a lot of downhill here. And again, we didn't see the weather. Alright, so we're gonna release this, hopefully recharge, not overheat the brakes. And again, because we're gonna go down a bit, because yeah, as we go through the coal, we're gonna have a really significant. I'm gonna release this a bit, but because yeah, there's a significant downhill here where we're gonna gain some big speed. We've got a little bit of more than we want here, so but we're going to try to manage the speed, and again, because it's not so heavy, hopefully it'll work wonderfully for us. So again, we want to be left here, because otherwise we're just going right back in the coal power plant. But this is where we do get a pretty big downgrade, and then we're gonna have like a 1.5 grade, and then so again, I probably want to manage this a good amount here. So we're gonna try to control this a little bit, but I think that's the problem, is the brakes get too warm. And then, you know, you're just doing more than you want. And then again, here we're going to want to go to the right. And now it's a little less. See, but what I don't see are like brake temperatures. Like, how would I know? That's the thing I don't get. I because, yeah, this is 0.8. After the switch, we're going to have another bigger grade, but then we're going to start going uphill a little bit until we start getting on the other side of things. But again, we can only be going about 5 through the switch. So I want to be careful. I guess we can go 6, but still, I think we're okay. And now we're climbing a bit, so it's a 0.6 grade. So if I lose some speed here, I'm not gonna cry, because then again we're gonna start going down here again. But through here we should have the ability to go a little faster, and then we can slow down on the uphill. So in theory we can get up here, but we'll have to be careful, because yeah, there's a good grade here, and then it should very quickly start to slow. And the biggest problem is if somehow the speed suddenly jumps out at us, but hopefully not. Alright, so this should be leveling out a little. Because again, we're 10. We've got to be 3 at some point. Alright, so we're gonna put these on, slow this down. Alright, we're gonna manage it a little bit that way. We're only at 0.6 now, so hopefully it won't be too bad. And it certainly helps that we are, you know, able to do some of this braking. Now this should hopefully be starting to go up soon. It looks like, yeah, we're not speeding up anymore, if nothing else. Because yes, at one point it does get to be about 0. Alright, so we gotta be at 80. Because we're gonna have to slow down to like 3 through the plant, so to 30 pretty soon. But I don't see the coal or City West yet. Alright, we're down to 50. Like I said, there should be a little bit of a grade, like getting to like 0.5%, and that's probably what we've got. Now we're down to 6. But yeah, I think we need to rein this in as we go through here, because I think we do have a relatively sharp turn, but I think this is easier here because we're flattening out. Right, so I'm getting the hang of this a little bit, but again, it helps to not take jobs that are too much for us. So again, you can see it's 30 on this turn that we're going around, because otherwise we're going into City West, and we're kind of maxed out there. So, you know, I'm sure we can go a little quicker. It gives us a little bit of extra room, but yeah, it's a sharp turn, and then we're flat for a good way, and then we go through a couple switches pretty quickly again. Alright, so now we're out of City West. Oops. So we're gonna just try to get this back where I can see. Okay. And yeah, we're gonna have like a 1.5, 2% upgrade later. So yeah, we're gonna go not sure. Oh no, yeah, there I do want to go there. Never mind. All right. Because otherwise that's going down to the sawmill, so in the wrong place. So I didn't really need to slow down there. Darn it. And yeah, there may be a bit of a grade through here, but then I think it flattens up a bit. So yeah, I didn't help myself. Because now we're going to end up starting to go through where we're going to go underneath that overpass that we did. But yeah, I mean, we're going through big areas of the map here. But yeah, other than getting that remote, like the machine factory just didn't have a lot to work on. So some of this is what jobs will spawn and what will appear is a big part of what is going on here too. So alright, we're gonna up the power here a bit. I mean, we can't go super fast, but we should be going quicker than this. And then because again, we have good weather. We want to take advantage of moving, because if I've seen anything from folks, it's Derail Valley's gonna have weather. Alright. And again, I don't think we're gonna have downhill anymore, because basically on the map, like, the arrows would have to pull in our direction, but at this point, like, we're not there. And okay, this is where we're going to the right. So this is where I was a bit confused and like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Yeah, that was a little jerky turn. And then the next one we should go to the left, and that's where we're then really gonna start climbing. So we're just trying to gain some momentum here while we're doing all this. Although, again, there could be a 3 to the left, I think, so I need to be careful. This does come up kinda quick. Alright. Now we're going downhill. And then, yes, we go through here. And now we want to start going again. Now we can go 9 over this bridge, so... And then we'll have a turn on the other side that's just 50. But, like, at this point, we are climbing. You know, and we've got... I don't know that we've got it halfway on the throttle, but it's up there. And so now we go a long way with no switches. And then again, the next one... I'm going to assume it's set correctly, I guess. Is going to be the smart thing. So now we're at a 0.17 grade. Again, this should be able to handle 300 tons, so this is only like half of the load. But yeah, I think we've got this big sweeping turn. So I'll add a couple points of throttle. And then we'll get up here. this is working. So yeah, this is getting us close to 2%. We might hit 2%. I don't really see an orange on here, but it might exist. But yeah, it definitely requires you to think your way through and what you want to do. But yeah, the other locomotive, the DH4, again, it costs 50,000. Plus we need long too, so we're going to get a lot of other things going on, but we should have better jobs available, and then it becomes a question of, you know, how can we make some money doing the work we're doing. So, but we can haul like 500 tons, and if we do a couple things together, because I think we could do multi-unit with these. So I really do need probably 100,000, or, you know, 110,000, 20,000. All right. So now somewhere here we're gonna go underneath, and this might be it. But if this is it, it should be less of a grade. Yeah, this isn't it yet. But so far the heat's not bad. We're at, you know, temperatures, I don't know if that's 600 or whatever, but we're doing okay. So I think I know where we are, and then the grade should go down after this turn for a long way, honestly, so it should be pretty easy. You know, we're gonna have to climb some, but it's gonna be a gradual climb. But we're staying above 20, which is fine. But yeah, this is definitely a different type of thing, you know, because again, I don't know how many railroads, I mean, I don't think many of them have this kind of a grade. So in Train Simulator, like, we're just not dealing with the same challenges here. And now this should be where it's now starting to flatten out. So there you go, 0.8. And then, so we're probably going to start speeding up. We'll just need to be careful, because again, at the switches we should only be at about 40. So we don't want to go too crazy here. But now we're really close to the middle. I think, again, that's the oil well, and then the farm is over there. So, and yeah, now we're coming up on where we're going to go underneath the viaduct, so probably about halfway at this point. But yeah, that's the farm out there. And there's like 3 landmarks on hills and stuff that can help you navigate, I guess. You know, again, if you have you know, because that radio tower, I think, is one of them that's in the middle there. But just trying to be careful, because again, we are speeding up a good amount. Yeah, this doesn't look like we have a lot of clearance, I'll tell you. And then the grade will go down once we go through the switch. But again, it's like 40, so I don't want to go too fast. I'm going to back off on the throttle in a little bit. And we're basically wanting to, so at some point we're going to head to the left, because we're kind of going straightish through here. So it's just a weird set of switching. Because these tracks kind of converge around, so yeah. We'll go right, because otherwise that would take us up toward the steel mill here. That would be how we get there. And then... Alright, so now I want to back off for sure, because this is a 1.3 grade down, which is interesting, but I think very shortly we go back up. And so now I think up here we're going to want to go left. And it's just a matter of, again, is this... Alright, no, we don't have to slow down. It's a 7. So we're good. Because otherwise that takes us to Coal Mine South, down that way. And now, again, we have just a really long run where we can move along a little bit. So we will do that because we have a ways to go. And then the problem is once we get close to the harbor, you know, it's downhill and some significant downhills most of the way in. So, yeah. Because basically, once we get to the next switch point, it's downhill most of the way. So, I'm hoping we won't have a problem. Again, nothing... There's some that are like 3. But again, we have a train that's half our... it's half our limit when we're dry, and even when we're not dry, it's still a good amount. But yeah, definitely interesting here. But yeah, I'd like to get some more capability than just doing this DE2. And like I said, I've heard the DM3 is challenging, so I don't... And like, you can blow out the gearbox, which would then leave me stranded. Alright, so we're going to give ourselves a little bit of power, because again, it is uphill right now through here. It's once we get through the next switching junction, then it is all downhill all the way to Harbor Town, which is what we had before, but this is honestly less than the other route that we had. And the other route, we were maxed out on our weight. And like I said, without the multi-unit, I'm not sure that I was getting any real braking from the back vehicle. And so that was the bad part with that, is I think I took a job that I couldn't do the, hey, I'm hopping back and forth. It just wasn't doing anything to help brake things. And I don't know that it would. So that's the thing I'm unfamiliar with, is because you do have the brake thing cut off in the other one for it to work properly. And the weird thing was, it's like when you're releasing the pressure, that's when the brakes apply. So yeah, it's just, it's different. It kind of operates backwards to what I would think. Right, so at this point, like, yeah, we can't even see the farm behind us. But yeah, we've got a nice long train. We don't have a crazy long train, but we do have a nice long train. But what I could hopefully do is like take 2 slightly heavier 4-car loads. That would be nice, instead of having to take like a long 2 type thing. Yeah, we've got to be. I mean, this is a kind of a long way through this central area. There's really nothing here. Maybe they'll add something in here. I don't know. But, yeah, it's just... This has probably been a pretty interesting development with this game over the years. So, like I said, I've had it on my list for a while, for over a year at this point, and then I just kind of realized, like, yeah, they just don't seem to really do any kind of sales, and I just need to stop waiting for it. And I do feel like for what this does, you know, even though it's up there, you know, it's $40 is the price on it, I thought it was actually, it's worth it, I would say. So I think we come up here, and then the fun begins. Because, yeah, it gets kind of steep as we get close, is the problem. Now, the good news is, like I said, it was a lot of between 1.2 into 2.5, bordering on 3% grades the way we came in. And so just given that we were already at the top end of the weight, you know, like I said, I think that was the difficulty. So this is really going to be kind of 1% until we get really close to the switching location. All right, so I'm guessing like where that's going in, that goes up. I don't know exactly where, but like we're converging on the switching location now. So it will be right up there. Yeah, I don't know how big this is. So yeah, I'm thinking we go around. Well, we go kind of straight, but we should be going to the right. But yeah, there you go. There's a switch. So yeah, we're gonna go to the right. Next one we go to the left, and that's it. We've got two switch junctions, and then you know, we're heading into the harbor. I want to keep calling it Harbor Town, but I think it's Harbor and Town. And I think this should be, I mean, we're only going 30. So yeah, it's 6. So okay, we're going through a tunnel. That's where I was a little confused. I'm like, what are we gonna do here? And now, there we go. The grades begin. So I am gonna turn this off because I'm sure we're gonna have plenty just going through. Because there are a few 50s coming up. You know, we're gonna be at, this might be a 40, so, but it might be a 40 just going out the other turn that we're not gonna be on, so I think we'll be okay. Yeah, this comes in pretty well here. Oh, no. Alright, and it's going down to 1.2, so we definitely want to hold it if we can. Alright, so, because, yeah, there is some steepness here, I believe. But yeah, we just want to be kind of managing it, letting it recharge. So my understanding is this is the main reservoir, this is the pipe, and so like this kind of replenishes a little bit, but like as long as this is up we should be good, and that helps get these bars up here. Alright, so we're going through. Because, yeah, here you're really, I mean, that's a cool view. yeah, gone through, maybe going through another tunnel. Like I said, there is a 40-mile-an-hour turn at some point. I think we're a long way from it. But there is another one of those, so I do need to be careful. And that's where it's helpful to know, like, and it should be a left turn. So it will be that. I mean, this looks pretty sharp. Alright, this is 50, so we're okay. I don't really see that, but it's just how much do I want to let it go? Because there is a little bit where we get to like a 1% grade here again. But like, I totally understand the whole derail concept here of, like, yeah, we're on just a light little precipice, and alright, so we're okay for now. 60. But my concern is if I get too fast, like, because yeah, then after that 40 turn, I mean, we can pick up some speed. But it gets a bit much. Alright. So we're gonna release it, and it's like, again, it's going up there, but yeah, I think we get to a 2% grade here at some point, so that will bring us down. But yeah, I think this is the sharp turn, and then we're kind of straightish into the switch, but then again, I think we take a pretty sharp turn. And so we'll have to be careful. Alright, so I'm not seeing any sign yet. I'm not going to speed up, because I think that's the trick of trains, is like, you're like, well, I want to get there, and, you know, but we have plenty of time if we do everything as we need to, I think. And again, yeah, there we go, 1.5. So yeah, this is where we've got 80. You know, and again, we've gone through that whole valley. And then we're going to take a sharp left shortly at the junction. And I'm pretty sure that's a 40 as well, so... And then it just continues being 40. Ay. Alright, well... I mean, we are going down, but... Alright, 60... So I think we're getting close. Alright, I'm not liking what I'm seeing here, so... We're gonna apply this. And yes, we want to go to the left, like I said. So... Okay. It's a 60, or no, it is a 40. That way. So we're fine. And now again, now it gets a little harried, so I'm gonna want to be careful here. So there's the harbor, but it's downhill the whole way here. So we don't want to go crazy, but you know, it's a long way, but there's some... Here you go, 2.3, so... And then again, it gets to be 4 down there, so... That's where we want to manage it a little bit, because we've got a turn of 40 coming up at the end of this here. And then, you know, we're able to go in a little quicker, but... There we go. So there's our 40. So we're going to manage this. And again, now it's just a 1.7. So it's okay. So we'll let this go again. You know, kind of keep the brakes a little cooler. And then once we're through here, in theory we can go 60, but you know, we're getting a little close. I just don't know. I don't know how much I want to allow. Yeah, because this is still 40. And this is what? Now it's 0.6 though, so it's less. There we go. Alright. So we have made it to the harbor. So at least we didn't crash this time. And again, we want to go where? To, what was it? G5I. So now if I go here, harbor, right, G is way over there. So I definitely do want to slow this down a bit. Because yeah, we want to go left. Then we want to stay left. Then we want to go right and left. Okay. And then, right. And then we want to go into G, and we're going to G5I. So we want to go right, right, left. So that should take us where we want to go. Alright, and we made it with no rain, and we made it during the day, which is even cooler. So, because yeah, that takes us over. Actually, this might be a little bit earlier yard. So yeah, that's the C yard. So this is one of the ways here that you turn around. This was where I was struggling at one point of how to do things. But yeah, you go in and then you can back out and like reverse yourself type of thing. Because you can come in, back out, and now come out this way, and then you're heading in the direction you want. Alright, so now we're going down, you know, we're here, and then we're heading down through, and then we'll go into G, so this is where the building is. So there's the station right there that we need to turn everything in at. And we can go from there. Yeah, we'll go down. And the G yard is one we've been into recently, because that's the one that's here between these buildings. So that way takes us to the D yard, which is also one we've been familiar with. The F yard isn't used because it has passengers. So I'm getting familiar with these, but right now it's part of it is because I've only got jobs that take me into certain places. So again, we're gonna go down, you know, we're gonna stay left or right and right, and then that first spot, that first track is where we're going. So we are doing wondrously. So there we go. And then we are in the G yard, and we are now going to 5I. This actually isn't bad. It took me an hour. Like, episodes are getting a little more reasonable. I'm not spending, you know, an hour figuring out what to do, but there's 5I. Again, we'll just verify. Yep, G5I. And we want to deliver them all there. And then again, there will be a shunting job here that will, you know, if we wanted to take next or something. So that's the cool thing with this. Like, you can do the whole supply chain. Like, if you're like, yeah, I want to take empty cars, I want to, you know, bring the consist together, then I want to load it, then I want to freight haul it. You know, the shunting does the loading too. But now, okay, so this is where, once again, now we can, let me just make sure. Oh, I am connected, but I do need to figure out, like, how do we recharge that? But anyway, so what I can do, though, is go over here, and then I can make sure that we're on here, which we are, and so now we can apply the brakes, and so that's the benefit, and that's the stuff that helps a lot. So now is like the battery doing something? I don't understand. Alright, so now we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna turn the power off. Oh, so is that really all we need? I see, it just has to probably be off for a time. If I knew that, I could have been charging it the whole way and seen how it worked. But anyway, so at this point, yeah, we want to cut this off. And then, we'll turn on the brake. And then we will disconnect everything. Nice and quiet. Alright. So we're good there. And now we can just head back. We know where to go because we were there. And we can turn this job in. But again, we obviously can't teleport or anything. But it's not crazy. But this is a big location. I don't know if it's the biggest one, but it's big. So we'll be here. And we take our job. I see greens. So 33 base payment, 50,000. Again, did everything good. So drop that, and now we are at, okay, 119. So I go to my fees and then confirm. Interesting. Okay. Actually, we had paid the other fees, so that makes sense. Okay. So now we're good there. And now we can go here. And so again, I wanted the DM4, but to do that, I need to get long haul 2. And the problem is that will update my fee. So see, that increases the copay 10,000 plus, and now we can do any car amount, so it doesn't matter how long we are. But then we can, now let's see, we have enough. So, let's see, the D6 is 200,000. That's crazy. So yeah, it's the DH4. So if I do that, that will give us that. And so now it's the 4-axle diesel hydraulic. Refer to your vehicle catalog for specific, but again, it increases our copay again, 10,000. So now we're looking at 20. And now the issue is, the other thing I think that's important is the multi-unit. I think oh wait, oh no, we can't, okay. I'm like, I thought it was 20, but it isn't. And I don't remember. Yeah, so we've added 25,000 to our copay is the problem right now. So, so yeah, we have a lot of licenses, and right now, like, we couldn't do it. But again, we're here. We have a lot of things. I think, yeah, this is what just got dropped here. So again, it's not a bad one to do next time. But see, the benefit we have now is we have long 2. Now again, this is lengthy, and so on 2% grades, like, getting out of here, that's the problem. But again, I can use like a DE2 and a DE4, and I'm hoping with the multi-unit that I can connect them together and it would work. And see, so then the benefit is like even something like this, because again, like the well, see, we're pushing it because like this is within the strength of the DE2 when it's dry. So if the weather's good, because yeah, we've got 1%, 2% grades into the steel mill out of here, you know, but this is over by 116, so like it's almost like I'd need 2 DE2s, and you know, but again, if I could get 2 DH4s, that's the other thought. It's like I might be able to do things like that, but you know, there's just a lot of work here in the harbor. So that is pretty cool. You know, and the things we can't do are like hazmat here. So like they're delivering acetylene, and you can see the price of that, and that's hazmat too though. So that's the one thing like we're missing. So like let's just take a look so we know how much the hazmat licenses are. Man, we own a lot of things now. Okay, so 40, so that would take 170,000, and wow, there's a hazmat 3. See, and then there's the military. It's interesting that military 2 is less. I wonder what the logic is for that. I'm sure there is some logic, but you know, that's the thing. And like, see, that's nitrogen. Yeah, I'm just looking at things that have like a lot of cars. So yeah, that's the goods factory, machine town, machine town. And so like these, well, but see, these are hazmat, and these are hazmat 1. So it's like, you know, they're not super heavy, but they probably pay more than something that's 132. It's hard to say because, I mean, again, this is just scrap metal. So we're not delivering anything super exciting there. But see, like here, it's 336. I thought there were 2 oil wells. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, just a lot of scrap metal heading out of the harbor to the steel mill. But we're going to worry about that next time. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please consider doing that. And I will see you. Looks like it's going to be, is it 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.? Might be 6 p.m. But I will see you next time.